Hi, boys and girls. We're back together again, not in the same room, but for the same reason, to worship God and to listen to what He has to say. Today, I want to do something a little different and say to you that this past week I thought to myself, I'm hungry for cake. So I got a recipe out and I got all the stuff that was supposed to be in that recipe to make a cake. And it said, put it in a big mixing bowl. So I got the sugar, and I got a couple of eggs, and I like chocolate, so I got a can of chocolate, and I got a cake mix, and it said I was going to need some cooking oil. And I put it all in that big mixing bowl, like the recipe said. And then I looked at it and said, this will never be a cake. And you knew that while I was putting the things in there. But sometimes we all forget what we just saw, and it looked kind of silly here. We all forget sometimes when it comes to the product we're supposed to be. God put us together and said, I want you to do things the right way. There's a right way and a wrong way to make a cake. The sugar has to be measured and poured in. The eggs have to be broken and poured out. The oil has to be measured. And the cake mix has to be out of the box. Then stirred up and then baked, put together the right way. Well, God says to each of us, I gave you a mind. I gave you a heart. I gave you ears. I gave you a mouth. I gave you hands, I gave you feet. Now I want you to put it all together the right way. Now you can't move them around on yourself, but how I use my mind to think and to plan and to schedule things and to know where I'm going and what I'm going to do, all of that has to be done God's way. And my heart pumps and circulates the blood in my body, but it's also, we say, where love comes from. And God gave it to me, but I have to use it the right way and measure it out to people. And my hands can do all kinds of things, but I have to make sure that what they do is what God wants them to do. And my feet can go all kinds of places, but I have to make sure that they go where and as God wants them to go. I have to make sure I'm put together the right way. I'm going to be talking to all of us, maybe more your parents than you, in a few minutes about what that means, but think about it and use your mind to think God's way. How can I help? What can I do? How can I be a friend? Use your heart. God's way. How can I love? How can I say that love with my mouth? How can I do that love with my hands? How can I go to bring that love with my feet? I have to be put together God's way, just like a cake has to be put together the right way to really be a cake. I have to be put together the right way to really be God's child and God's missionary to the world. That's what He put us here for. That's what He wants us to do. Ask Him how to use all of your ingredients the right way.